Well, imagine if we actually cared about children, innocent
I feel
children.
like Matt Ho would be really good in that position.
Yep.
Hello, Miss Rachel.
Miriam, it is so nice to see your smile. That is so great that you got some clothes. So many people love you and care about you and want you to be healthy and back at school and have the nourishing food you need and the medical care you need. So many people in the world care so much about you and about the kids of Gaza. I know you must feel so frustrated and alone, but we see you and we want to help, and we're not gonna stop trying. I'm gonna work every day to try and get you the help you need, okay? What is your dream, Miriam? What would you love to do? What do you want to be when you grow up? Maybe people in Gaza and people here, we can all share our dreams in the comments of this post. Maybe we can all share and amplify this post so you get what you need, because it's wrong that you don't have what you need, Miriam. It's so wrong, and we need to all work to change it. I loved your half heart. I love you. Bye.
I seriously want to fucking kill somebody. Like that's
why you can't handle watching this stuff, but we have to. That's the point. The whole point is all we can do is bear witness and do that. It's like, if we have to sit here and watch that, but that little girl has to go through that, right? Like, it's the least we can fucking do.
I'm sick of people who have no humanity. I'm sick of people that are...
And that's who Van Jones is talking about, that little girl?
Yeah, that little girl, Van Jones. That's who you're talking about. You fuck. You fuck.
So demented. These people are so demented. I feel like it's pod people. They're pod people. I just can't.
No, they have no soul. They really don't. And
and if Miss Rachel can friggin' put her big girl panties on and have these conversations looking at these kids, then we need to all sort of abide. Yeah.
If there is a person with the right platform in terms of size, reach, and scope that is doing what is necessary to try to sever this unholy alliance with this genocidal state that the Zionist billionaire class of our country have attached us to, hook, line, and sinker, and is doing everything in his capacity to get us to sever that relationship. It's Tucker Carlson.
So right now, as we speak tonight, there are 2 THAAD missile batteries in Israel. That's 1/4 of the world's total supply of THAAD missile batteries. The THAAD missile battery is an American-made, very high-tech missile battery that takes incoming missiles out of the sky.
Now, I'm going to pull this because that's actually not the clip. I don't know why it said new, but
I'm trying my best to see the relevance between what that was and what we're talking about.
Okay, so I believe this is the first one.
Israel's our greatest ally. We should never ask anything of them. Of course, you heard Nikki Haley. You hear all of them say exactly the same thing. Protecting Israel is the most important thing. They're our only real ally. If they're our only real ally, why does Israel have a long history of transferring military technology, including American military technology, to China? To China? Most people have no idea that's true. It is true. Why is China running the port of Haifa, Israel's biggest port? Really, if they're such a close ally? And of course, the answer is because from Israel's perspective, we're not a close ally. We're a country that has been willing to help them. But when you only have 9 million people and a limited defense budget, you take help where you can get it. So the loyalty is not requited. It's one way.
And so now you'll understand why this unholy alliance is extremely detrimental in terms of weaponry and what we provide to Israel and what Israel, with the Samson option, might be looking to do to the world.
And 1/4 of the world's entire supply of these is in Israel right now, manned by U.S. troops, by Americans.
Let's start it one more time.
So right now, as we speak tonight, there are 2 THAAD missile batteries in Israel. That's 1/4 of the world's total supply of THAAD missile batteries. The THAAD missile battery is an American-made, very high-tech missile battery that takes incoming missiles out of the sky. And 1/4 of the world's entire supply of these is in Israel right now, manned by U.S. troops, by Americans.
Of course.
So we have troops there.
Well, we always have had troops there. We've never not had troops there. When have we not had troops near there? We have troops at places all over the world. You don't think there's troops there? Exactly. This is what I want to know. This is what Peter and I have talked about this, and I've said it before. I was just saying it today that I don't know. Is it deep state? Is it Vatican? Is it, I don't know, but it's very valid.
Extremely valid.
In uniform or not, they are American military personnel, and they are manning these batteries to protect Israel. And that shouldn't surprise you, because since October 7th, 2023, which is a little less than 2 years ago, the United States has spent at minimum $30 billion defending Israel. Huge. And for some perspective, the entire Israeli military budget before October 7th was about $25 billion. So the United States has put at least $30 billion into defending Israel in less than 2 years. Over the course of its existence, a little less than 80 years, the United States has put $300 billion, at least, those are just the on-books numbers, into supporting Israel. $300 billion.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to give a genocidal state. And he is reaching millions of conservatives in particular, nationwide, that are hearing this. And I do think that, again, he was removed from Fox News because he dared touch the subject of Israel. He's only been gone from Fox News for a couple of years. It's not like he's been gone a long time. But he got his walking papers because he dared to question empire, not because he insulted somebody that he shouldn't have.
Which then, of course, begs the question of if he was yeah, it's very interesting about him.
Well, I maintain that he does not like Milikowski, that there is something to that relationship where he probably really dislikes him. This is a
personal. You think it's personal?
I do.
Yeah.
I also think that Tucker is a very devout Catholic, and this is something that this really eats at him. Because again, he's a very proper guy. Yeah, he's an elitist, but you can just tell he's just so he's square.
I mean, I'm not a fan. You know, I mean, I've never been a fan, but I can say that, and I saw this when he was interviewing the nun, the sister Stephanopoulos. Okay,
yes.
And she's a nun who lives in not Bethlehem, but somewhere else in the region, and I could see how it was affecting him when she was explaining how Christians are not able to practice their faith, right? Like I could see that really bothered him. And so he's definitely been learning stuff more and more. And then maybe it is personal as far as, Milikowski. But you can see he's been having an awakening. He has.
Yes, and my apologies. Tucker Carlson, if you really want to understand why he thinks the way that he does, my apologies. He's not actually a Catholic. He's actually the most liberal denomination of the Protestant church, and that is Episcopalian. So that actually explains a lot in terms of why he has this humanity streak that is really showing in a very profound way right now. So my apologies. I thought he was Catholic.
Exactly. He's Catholic light. Okay. Episcopalian is not Protestant. Episcopalian is Catholic light.
Okay.
And I knew that, and I don't know why I didn't call it out, but thank you for reminding me that it is in fact not Anglican, or it's Anglican, not Protestant.
Anglican. Right.
Israel is by far, no one comes close, the largest recipient of U.S. aid over time. And currently. So anyone who says, oh, it's just a drop in the bucket, it's totally insignificant, is lying or doesn't know the numbers. By the way, number 2 is Egypt. So why are we spending so much money on Egypt? Well, we're doing it at the request of Israel. So you could probably add that to the tally. It's not an attack. It's merely perspective. We are spending our time, our money, and we're taking enormous risks on behalf of a country that geopolitically is not significant at all. The interesting thing is, most Americans have no idea that this is true. They don't know how disproportionate our attention to Israel and our spending on Israel is relative to the rest of the world. And if you want some sense of how disproportionate, India and China combined, neither of which is a strong ally at the moment, combined represent more than a third of the entire world's population. Both are rivals economically, both are rivals militarily, at least potentially. And our relationship with them has gotten worse, or is at the very least languished, because of our relationship with Israel, because of the bandwidth consumed by tending to it, and also because of some of the inevitable conflicts that have arisen because of our support for Israel, which is engaged in an extremely controversial, which is to say hated war in Gaza, which is not even really a war. It's a massive displacement of people and killing on a grand scale of unarmed people, of unarmed combatants, of civilians, of women and children.
Or you could just say genocide. But either way, he's doing as much as anybody could possibly be doing with his platform. And again, this all relates to what he did the other night. This is all part of that same clip. It was a 30-minute dissertation, if you will, about what we need to do to get away from Israel. I have one last clip to play from this exchange that he put together.
Okay.
And the last thing that I think we need to do to restore balance between the relationship between the United States and Israel, and to restore some sanity to the public conversation on this topic, is to get our theology right. And this is not a message aimed at Israelis or Jews. This is a message aimed at Christians, who are the largest group of Israel supporters in the United States.
Did you hear
and their
that?
view of Israel is colored not just by a sentimental attachment, which is fine, or trips to Israel states. Israelis or Jews. This is a message aimed at Christians, who are the largest group of Israel supporters in the United States.
Yeah. Did you hear that? Shut the fuck up.
Evangelical Christians are the biggest Zionist denomination in the United States. It is not Jews, despite what the media would have you believe.
Right.
It doesn't mean that the Jewish Zions are not the most powerful. They certainly are. But as we've said from the beginning, it is an unholy alliance.
Also true.
What you have here is the Jewish Zionists that supply the money, and the Christian Zionists, or the pastors of Christian Zionism, John Hagee, Pat Robertson, Joel Osteen, and the like, provide the flock. That's what happened. That's how it works.
And their view of Israel is colored not just by a sentimental attachment, which is fine, or trips to Israel, great, no problem, but by a Christian heresy, the oldest of the Christian heresies, which is that God somehow prefers some people based on their DNA. And of course, the whole point of Christianity is that that is no longer true, that there is no chosen people. The chosen people are people who choose Jesus. That is the Christian message right there. It's not an anti-Semitic message, by the way.
Nope.
It's the Christian message. It's the core Christian message. And yet there are many, many self-described representatives of the Christian faith, the world's largest, who are daily sending a different message. And we should be very clear, whatever this is, it's not Christianity, it is heresy. And among the many examples we could pick, we're going to go, because we couldn't control ourselves, with Lindsey Graham. Watch.
To people in my party, I'm tired of this crap. Israel is our friend. They're the most reliable friend we have in the Mideast. They're a democracy, surrounded by people who would cut their throats if they could. This is not a hard choice if you're an American. It's not a hard choice if you're a Christian. A word of warning. If America pulls the plug on Israel, God will pull the plug on us.
I don't even know what to say.
Oh, yeah.
How many people has he sent to their death, Jen?
Yeah, he's just ridiculous to me. He's one bathroom stall away and some lady undergarments away from a scandal. Like, this man is just, he is grasping on to his manhood with every last breath. Like, he is one of the most overcompensating, desperate little men that there is in the Senate. Truthfully.
There's a reason why people like him vote against the release of the Epstein files. I'm just saying.
Mm.
God will kill you if you don't support Bibi Netanyahu. That's what he's saying. And there are cheers, unfortunately, cheers when he said that God will kill you. He will pull the plug on you like a quadriplegic in intensive care. You're going to flatline unless you support the secular abortion-on-demand government of Israel. That's the Christian perspective, really. That God loves some people more because of their DNA, that is not the Christian message. That's the opposite of the Christian message. The Christian message is universal. That's the whole point of it. The chosen people in Christianity are those who choose Jesus. The entire New Testament is that story. And anyone who says otherwise has not read it or is lying. God does not prefer you because of your DNA or anyone else because of their DNA, period. So the fact that people can stand up in the United States in 2025 and say something like that, and by the way, not even make the case, just invoke the power of God as a weapon. He will kill you. He'll pull the plug on your country unless you go along with this. We need more war. Listen to yourself. And it's not just Lindsey Graham. It's the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. It's a lot of people, some of whom are very nice people. People have dinner with them. They seem perfectly normal. But this is a heresy, and it's deranged. And you know it's deranged because it is a justification for killing the innocent. And in Christianity, if there's one thing that's crystal clear, it's that Christians cannot abide the killing of the innocent. People who have done nothing wrong cannot be killed. That's a sin. You are not allowed to do that, period. And if you find anyone leveraging the message of Jesus to justify the killing of innocents, that person is committing heresy.
I appreciate this because, and again, I'm not a fan of Tucker, but him speaking truth to his people and speaking out for his religion. And again, as somebody who is a secular, non-practicing Jewish person, I feel like that's what I'm doing as a Jewish person, is speaking out and saying that what the Zios are doing and what Israel is doing is not Judaism. It is actually a violation of the Torah. Violation. It's not, people that follow the 613 commandments, the mitzvot, they don't do this. It's a violation. And that people need to understand that that's not Judaism. Unfortunately, there are a lot of Jewish people, I would say secular, that they are this, but that's the point. They're not practicing Jews.
Jen, much like the Schofield Bible, which created Zionism and created this unholy alliance between Jewish Zionists and Christian Zionists, can you also explain to the audience the difference between the Torah and the Talmud?
Yeah, and you know what, guys, we need to, did we reach out to Rabbi Rosen? No, did we reach out to Brant Rosen, Rabbi Brant?
I tried to reach out to him. I wanted him to come on Monday. I haven't heard back.
Okay. Well, I want to have someone on to really explain this better, but the Torah is the first 5 books of Moses. So it's the Old Testament. That's the Torah. The Torah is the 5 books of Moses. And that is if you go to a synagogue, let's say, any synagogue, basically, although let's say you go Reform, so they're speaking English and you can understand them. And you go to synagogue, and any day of the year, they're reading the story of that portion of the Torah that they follow it very similar to like the New Testament. So like when you go to church on Easter, you're getting the Easter story. The Torah is the Old Testament. That's what that's what they're following. The Talmud is writings and from different scholars and different people. And it's not the Bible. It's interpretations and excerpts and stuff that does that, but it's not the word of God. Air quotes. Air quotes.
We use it as we can, I suppose.
Yes, Torah is Judaism. That is correct. People that follow the Torah, that read the Torah, that's, yes, correct. And I agree with Tucker. You don't get to call yourself Christian if you stand for things that are a complete violation of that, right? Then you're not really that. You're just using that to shield yourself from criticism. You're not really that. I mean, and I always say as a disclaimer, like, I was raised in a Jewish community. My family is all Jewish. All of my great grandparents are Jewish. Like, that's the stories I grew up with, but I have always been an atheist. I am a non-practicing person, but you don't get to claim that you're something, but not do it. Like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Although I was recently talking about my mom with something like this because, I think it bothers her to think that her friends are Zionists. And her thought is, well, they're not Zionists. They just, they just think that, and some sort of two-state thing or whatever. I'm like, then they're Zionists. If you believe that there should be a Jewish Zio state, you are a Zionist. If you believe that Jews are entitled to an ethno-state, you are a Zionist. Just like if you take Christ as your savior, you're a Christian, right? Like there's just certain things.